Hello and welcome to House of Cult. My name is Alessandro, and with me, as always, is Ariel, the owner and founder of the Pretty Cult. Today's episode, we are celebrating the Warp Tour's return in 2025 in honor of its 30th anniversary, with select shows taking place across the country and just down the highway from us in Long Beach, California. To mark the occasion, we're stoked to launch our new series, House of Warped, where we're interviewing some of our favorite bands who are set to participate this year in Warp Tour. And today we couldn't be more excited to be chatting with Matt McAndrew, the vocalist of Rain City Drive, who is set to be performing at Warp Tour Long Beach this year. Plus, we have a ton of other stuff to chat about. The band put out their recent album, Things Are Different Now, this past September via Thriller Records. So we have a ton of stuff to chat about. But yeah, man, I just kind of want to start off kind of touching on the Warp Tour aspect.
Hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, your bandmates obviously probably had a very extensive history playing Warp Tour, in the previous iteration of the band.
Yeah,
And you yourself, I could be wrong, but you probably never played a Warp Tour back in
correct,
the day. So
correct.
I'm kind of curious, this will be your first time ever playing the festival, although it will be a little bit different than what it was,
Hmm.
what is it sort of like preparing for an event like this with such a deep-rooted legacy?
Yeah, I mean, so just a little bit about my history before this. I did like more like indie rock, alt rock bands growing up, and we did a battle of the bands where the prize was playing Warped Tour, and
Okay.
we made it in second place. And we wound up playing this kind of obscure festival in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania that had like Miss May I and Whitechapel and bands that were like way heavier than we were,
Yeah.
and just like playing in an indoor gym kind of vibes, which was interesting. But yeah, so I always wanted to play Warped Tour. I knew it was a big deal, but I never attended and I never played. We did just do the DC one. It was great. I've since linking with the band, like I've gotten the chance to play a bunch of rock festivals in the States. And yeah, this one definitely had a different vibe to it. It was run really well, like from artist perspective, but also just something about the energy did feel a little different. It felt a little more community and summer campy in like a good way. Everybody seemed excited to be there, and it was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you find yourself like chatting with your bandmates a lot about like their experiences, obviously back in like the slaves days and everything like that, when they would play the tour? Because I
Yeah,
think there's
not
probably
not so much. I mean that it's I guess those were kind of chaotic times
sure, yeah.
for them. And I think just this was just a nice, easy experience for all of us. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
could
But no,
imagine. Yeah.
but yeah, man, it was like I said, it was great. It was honestly probably my favorite festival I've done in the States. So just it was you wind up running into way more people than you think, and it was a cool kind of vibe. So
Yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah. With the lineup being so stacked, I'd love to know if there are any artists that, or bands that you particularly are really excited to share the stage with.
yeah, I mean, I'm friends with the dudes in Sachi 6. Like we did that
Mm.
collab song called Easy Exit, and it was fun watching their set and just kind of seeing their growth. I've known Noah from that band for a minute, just working with other projects, and I think they're really talented, and it's cool to see a band like that, you know, get an opportunity to do their thing in front of a bigger crowd, and I'll be interested to see where their journey takes them. So that's cool. One of my best friends, Thrasher, is playing with Cobra Starship now, so he'll be at the Long Beach one. So it'll be fun to hopefully catch him in his set with them. Yeah, those are the ones that come to mind though for sure.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
no, those are awesome.
It was
Yeah.
it was it was really cool watching MGK headline DC. Um,
Oh yeah.
Definitely just went shopping after that. I feel
Yeah.
like we were all like man, like him and his whole band like looked really they looked really cohesive, but they like we've just been doing a very basic like we all wear the same kind of all black look and just I think for this summer tour we have coming up, we're like let's maybe try to mix it up. And so it's always cool to watch, especially a big production like that. If you're watching a headliner, it gives you some insight into maybe what you'd want to do one day if you had the budget. Like you're looking at the
Right.
pyro and the staging and the lights and whatever. But even something like wardrobe and really putting like a lot of effort into that is something that it's not free, but it's something that is more accessible before you're at that top level. It's like it's gonna be cheaper than buying a huge lighting package or something, right? But it's a
Yeah.
way to look still whatever. So
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
fashion is, of course, a big part of uh, stage performance.
the
It
only
is.
it's the only part of music that matters. No, I'm just kidding.
I love
Nah,
it.
yeah.
The songs are just like elevator music, for the background of
Yeah.
my fucking catwalk. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh
You
my God.
know, with the lineup being stacked with very like legendary acts, fan favorites, how does Rain City Drive intend to kind of craft a performance that stands out to capture both the attention of the long time,
Hmm.
nostalgic Warped Tour fans, but also the new listeners?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I would say I think it's an easier task given that the set time is shorter.
Mhm.
Mm,
So yeah, and kind of similarly with summer school as well, that the summer tour we're doing because it's kind of put on by the same camp and it's
Mhm.
we're headlining that, but it's a rotating headliner thing. So our set is still like a half hour-ish. So
Mhm.
it lets you just kind of pick your heavy hitter songs, whatever those might be. And so I mean, we always include the songs that are our best well-known songs that we think the fans will like and also the casual fans like you mentioned, right? So I think that makes it a little easier. If we were to having a string together like an hour and a half set or something, you're obviously going to lose some people that maybe haven't heard all those songs, but given the short set time, it should be pretty hopefully people will be familiar with um at least a good chunk of it, even if they're not super familiar with our band, as long as they listen to that type of music.
yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
too like the ethos of Warped Tour, right? Back in the day, it's like there were so many bands, shorter sets. And I mean, I remember when I went, I found so many new bands because I was able to see so many in that like
Oh, cool.
shorter
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's the ideal experience, in so many ways. Like, especially like I come from like a punk and hardcore background. It's like
Hmm.
25, 30 minute set. Like you really can't beat that, if it's just
Yeah.
all killer, no filler, just
Well, and it's interesting that like when the Beatles were playing back in the day, like all their sets were only a half hour. Even when they're playing
yeah.
Shea Stadium, and they think about how crazy that people have been waiting all day and whatever, and it's just like they're in and out, done, see ya. Like
I
so.
I would say like I'm seeing Oasis this fall and I'm very
Okay, hell yeah.
excited. And if they went up and only played for 30 minutes at,
You'd be like,
the
what the
Rose
fuck?
Bowl, I'd be like, what the
Yeah, yeah,
fuck?
for sure.
But absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm glad you touched on summer school as well. That was kind of the next thing we wanted to touch on as well.
nice man.
It's really cool that I feel like I haven't seen a tour necessarily like this. I mean, obviously, like there's been like the sad summers and whatnot, but this feels very much like it's very much own identity. And I
Hmm.
think it's super cool. The lineup is super diverse. You've got like Charlotte Sands, you've
Yeah.
got our buddies and Arrows in Action, and just such a cool lineup. I'm kind of curious, what are you sort of looking forward to the most about this tour, and especially with this being a summer related tour? Are there any like
Hmm.
activities you're hoping to sort of experience while on the road, whether with your band and your tour mates?
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, for me, we're playing some. bigger venues that I haven't got to hit up yet. Like more notably stuff on the back east, like used to be called the Electric Factory. I think it's Franklin Music Hall now in Philly.
Yeah.
Was like a venue that I saw. I used to go see like Modest Mouse. I saw Bring Me the Horizon the first time there. It was like Bring Me and like Issues, and I never heard of them at the time. This was like during the Sempiternal era.
Mm.
So that's just like a cool venue that's pretty hefty and legit
Yeah.
in my mind for sure. And so I think that is kind of cool, like playing some bigger rooms we haven't got to play. And then it's been a little minute since we've done a legit tour. We've been doing festivals and one-offs and stuff and kind of shorter runs, like we did the Latin America run. So the idea of, taking the show on the road, pun intended, and like
Yeah.
going around the country and hitting all, oh, let's see what's going on in Nashville. Let's see what's good. Like it sounds fun versus
Mhm.
like when you're touring constantly, you're like, I want to stay home. But I think it's like time to get back out there. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What are kind of some of your, top essential summer songs or artists that, will be on kind of repeat for you this summer? Like, we love to give our listeners kind of, some different questions for some of the people we interview, and I would love to know kind of like what some of your favorite things are that you're listening to right now.
Hmm. That's a good question, man. I feel like there's some periods in my life where I don't even know what I'm listening to. I like started listening to a lot of Cardi B randomly.
Nice.
That's my girl.
I saw a clip on, it was like a little YouTube short, and I think they were talking about Dr. Dre or something, and how he's a really great producer because he'll just call out these artists like while they're tracking. He's like, no, I don't like believe it. I don't believe that you really mean it, like whatever they're saying.
Hmm.
And I just can't imagine anybody saying that to her. She's just so
Hmm.
authentic. It's like
Yeah.
everything she says, because like obviously, you have like and they can be kind of loose on the timing and like delivery. There's no pitch if you're just like straight up rapping. But so a lot of it is just obviously content, but like the delivery is everything. And like that caricature and that commitment to what you're saying. I just feel like I really like that from her. I don't know. I've just been enjoying it. So that's like, oh, dude, you know what? I've been listening to this King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard record.
Hell yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the one
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the one with the little lizard on the cover. You know what I'm saying?
They have like 30 records, and I'm pretty sure all of them have a lizard
Yeah.
on the
Oh
cover.
well, that's soup. That's soup. It's the one lizard. Yeah, you can probably tell this is the first record that I've gotten into. Okay, let me see. What is it called? It's the one with the song called Witchcraft. You're like, they all have a song called Witchcraft. You fool. It's called Heterodragonic Apocalypse. But yeah, the song is called Witchcraft. I love that song. And I got really into that song and then just kind of zoomed out. Now I love the whole record. I got my back tattooed recently in England. It was very painful and like I was just kind of like I don't know if you guys ever had like an intense tattoo session. It's like
Oh
it's,
yeah.
it's sort of like when you're free, it's kind of like invigorating a little bit because you're like, I'm free. I can do anything. It's like
Yeah.
listening to that album and being pretty hype. It's like almost like eating food that's too spicy. It gives you like an adrenaline rush, kind of. So,
That's amazing. I just pulled up the band's Wikipedia page. So King
okay,
Gizzard have released 27 studio albums, and
that's
they've
nuts, bro.
only been a band for, I think, let's see, it's since 2010.
Oh
So
my God,
yeah,
wow,
it's
that's great,
Damn.
man.
pretty
I
insane.
wonder
Yeah.
what yeah, it's like what are for their live shows they just only play that album kind of vibes because how would you choose?
I saw them live 2 summers ago, and it was a mix, but honestly, they kind of do the crazy thing where they will just play songs off a new, like almost entirely off a new album that isn't even out yet. Like they
Oh,
just
wow.
they gonna do literally whatever they want, and it's
That's
cool.
great, man. What was
It's
the yeah,
awesome.
what was the live show cool?
It was really cool. I was up in Seattle. I'm from there. I live in LA, but I was up in
Mm-hmm.
Seattle, and it was this outdoor show, and it was like pouring rain the entire
Mm,
time, of course. But
damn.
it was kind of awesome. It kind of looked like something you would see in the 90s, sort of
Oh
like those like
yeah, hell
old
yeah.
festivals and stuff like that. It was like on this old farmland. It
Let's
was
go,
sick.
dude.
It was really cool. Yeah, it was awesome. And the merch game is fucking insane for King Gizzard as
Oh,
well.
I didn't even think of that. I need to cop some of that. That's sick.
It's really cool. It's like very like Nickelodeon, like 90s
Oh,
looking kind of
okay.
art. It's really cool. It's
Hell
awesome.
yeah, bro. Sick, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I haven't listened to them in a hot minute, so now after I get off of here, I'm gonna need to
Yeah.
dive back in because
Yeah,
it's been a hot minute.
listen to that one with the lizard on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Witchcraft.
Yeah,
Witchcraft.
that the whole witchcraft album is so sick.
Hell
Hell yeah.
yeah. You kind of mentioned this earlier, and we had a question, so we're circling back a little bit when you mentioned, MGK and all of his fashion. Fashion wise, what are you kind of gravitating towards stylistically this summer? Both kind of, as you mentioned, on stage, you guys are having a bit of a vision now since seeing MGK, but also like off stage as well, you
I
know.
love how it's like this. It's like framing it as this like religious experience. Like you saw MGK, you bought
Yeah.
clothes. Super stardom, dude. That is the formula. That is the formula. Yeah, no, I mean, I mean, just like because that's real shit. Like that is what I like about him. Like I don't know. People have a lot of things to say, but it's like the dude is a star. Like
Hmm.
look at him. He looks like an anime character or something. He looks sick. But yeah, I would say, and also like I'm sure we've noticed like Sleep Token and all these bands, whatever, that they make image such a integral part of the brand. It just kind of like always does well. So if I think if you can really nail that, it's cool. And there's a lot of people that think about it throughout the years, like even like Misfits. I don't know. I'm not a huge like a way bigger fan of the way the Misfits like present themselves than like how
Hmm.
they sound. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
I remember my buddy growing up saw like had like a poster of them in their room and their logo and everything. I was like, oh man, like this is probably like the craziest, like heaviest sounding, and they're just kind of like yeah, and they sound like what they sound like. It's like a little whatever. So yeah, I think image is cool. In terms of what I'm yeah, like I said, trying to lean maybe a little more pops of color, like a little more fun. Obviously it's gonna be super hot, so it's like,
Yeah.
maybe can't really get away with wearing too many layers and stuff, sadly. My 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 back tattoo is healing, but one day that'll be exciting to be able to go no shirt and fucking rock that shit. More bright, colorful, like in general, I'm trying to kind of bridge the gap between a lot of like more like timeless like menswear kind of stuff. I buy a lot of vintage. Like I love buying like old made in the US Levi's. Like I have a pair from like
Mm.
70s and the 80s and just kind of like those classic. I like things that are just they're so old that they're already timeless kind of vibes. Like if I could get any car, I'd get like an old 65 Mustang or something that's just I've always thought was cool since I was a kid and it's still cool now. And it's just like, yeah, I think that's things that kind of live beyond the trend and then also some trendy stuff for fun. But I like to kind
Absolutely.
of like I just got these rings from the Great Frog that are really cool.
Oh,
That's like
nice.
that's been cool forever, whatever. So I don't know. I like a mixture of some timeless stuff with some kind of current. And everything's so cyclical, anyways, as I'm sure we've all been seeing, right? It's like
Yeah.
stuff that was cool when I was a kid. I was like, damn, that's like back now. So whatever.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
It's crazy how full circle it comes.
For sure, man.
Kind of switching gears, I want to touch on things are different now.
Okay.
We're getting pretty close to the year mark since it's been out.
Yes.
I'm
And
kind of curious.
I am pushing for a deluxe for that. for the year mark.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to make that happen. There's a couple songs that didn't quite make the cut for the record that I'd love to see on the deluxe, as well as that Never Bloom acoustic thing that we put out that was
Hmm.
just on YouTube. Plus, I would personally love to see a cappella and instrumental versions of
Mm,
everything that we put out.
Oh.
Just why not? Like if it was
yeah.
any band that I like did that, I would definitely like to check it out. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's incredible. We're breaking news right here.
yeah,
But
but sorry. Go
no,
on.
absolutely no. But now that almost a year has passed, what sort of reflections do you have on that record and sort of what it represented for you personally and for the band as a whole? Do you feel like it lived up to your expectations? Do you feel like it communicated exactly what you wanted to sort of to convey to the world?
Yeah, I think I'll always feel positively about that record, and I think I can speak for the band as well. I think it did what we needed it to do at the time. But yeah, maybe one of my favorite things about it was just sort of how stylistically and writing wise things came together in a way that felt a little more effortless than the previous record. Um, like kind of that's what I've been reflecting on is when we did self-titled, it was a lot of exploration in terms of how can we blend different styles and influences. And then on Things Are Different Now, it just sort of happened automatically. Like even with Frozen, that would have been a song that I feel like we would have really worked to try to find on
Hmm.
self-titled, and it just kind of presented itself. Like it was a good mixture of it worked in active rock and also had a lot of kind of poppier sensibilities to it. So yeah, and I think the success of that, and in terms of people liking and also us liking the record, has been a good way to inform the new stuff that we're doing. The new song was going to come out this week, but it is now coming out July 10th. So
Okay.
we got a new song then, and then I want to put out another one in the fall, and just song, and see where it takes us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's very exciting. So this is a new song that will not be related to the deluxe edition. Like
Yeah,
it's just brand
we're
new.
starting the next album cycle with this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was yeah, that was my next question sort of is,
Hmm.
where things are sort of heading,
Hmm.
sonically and thematically for the band.
Hmm.
Because you sort of mentioned that with every album, you guys more and more discover who you are and your identity.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I would say definitely not afraid of leaning heavier in terms of the instrumentals. I think like
Hmm.
the vocals will always be pretty quote unquote pop. Like pop is like a relative term, right? But in terms of the context of the music, I think it's a little poppier. But yeah, just kind of having fun with super low tune, mean sounding guitars, and in terms of like thematically in my life, a lot more kind of like love songs because that's like
Hmm.
where I'm at, and the last one was sort of the opposite of that.
Kind of a breakup album in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So, I got tons of those, but everything's really good now, and yeah, my buddy keeps teasing me that the new Rain City record's gonna be like the worst album ever because I'm just like super in love and like I'm like everything's great, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, but then as long as I wear a mask, people will think we're cool, and then it'll just even out, So
Yeah.
good. It's good.
Isn't it kind
Uh,
of sad that people feel like artists need to sort of suffer for their art in a lot of
yeah,
ways? Like,
it's particularly sad for the songwriters. Yeah, I'm like, oh shit.
you
Like, because
know?
straight up, like when I remember being younger, like being a little bit masochistic with it. There was a
Mhm.
a John Mayer interview where he's like, yeah, I just kind of find myself like, yeah, maybe I'll do that, and maybe I'll get my heart broken, and great. So and on the last record for sure, like there was definitely that awareness of I'm like, yeah, this situation is like not the best, but I'm like I know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna, you know, pull the ripcord and get out of it, and I'm gonna get some music out of it. And it did work out. So I did know what I was doing. But yeah, different scenario this time for sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited to hear this new more. I mean, the music has always been uplifting of Rain City Drive, but like this kind of positive, love focused version of Rain City Drive. And I think it's so cool that you guys put out a record like clockwork, like every 2 years
Oh,
almost.
thanks, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it really just came from, the label wanting something coordinated with summer school, and like, yeah, it would be cool. And once we kind of started with that, we're like, let's just keep going. So yeah, I like the idea of being like rewarded for the work you put in. And I think at times the format was very much like um kind of moving at a glacial pace of like, hey, you put out this single, and then we're gonna want to work it for 4 months at radio or whatever. We're gonna and I like the ability to be able to kind of king gizzard the shit a little bit more,
Yeah.
of like, I would be curious to see what like a song a month would do for a band like Rain City,
Yeah.
and I don't know if we'll ever get that quick, but I'm just, that's kind of where my head's at, is just um hopefully being able to outwork the competition a little bit. Like, as long as all the songs are good and we feel cool about them, obviously it's like, can we up the volume a little bit, and just and the output, and see where that would take us,
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. I mean, I work at a record label. That's my day job. And
Nice, man.
if I had it my way, yeah, like artists would be putting out a song every month. Like that's
100%, bro.
such an important thing. Obviously, this is getting inside baseball a little bit here,
Go ahead.
but with, streaming and whatnot, they do always want to buy into an album, knowing
Yeah,
that
of
an
course.
album is coming. So like the singles format is really interesting of like how to sort of strike that balance, but then also provide that, official product that is,
Yeah.
the final
I mean,
album.
I think maybe you just write a little bit of a long, like, my vibe is always like, maybe write a little bit of a longer record, so you're able to drop a bunch of singles,
Hmm.
repackage those, and then still have at least 5 or 6 in the can for album day, so people like that. um I don't know. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and just a few more quick questions.
cool.
2025, essentially kind of marks 5 years since the official formation of Rain City Drive, under its
Okay.
current name and
Yeah.
lineup. So 5 years, like when you look at that trajectory from, you were swept into this very, very quickly, coming
Hmm.
from The Voice, you come in to fill in for some shows, and then you're pretty much just right into it, and
Hmm.
you're stepping into a post-hardcore band, a band
Hmm.
that was rooted in post-hardcore, maybe
100%.
bit of a different world for you at the time. Not only that, but you navigated a pandemic, but you
Mm.
still were able to build this extremely successful career with millions of streams,
Oh,
sold out
thanks, man.
shows, 3 albums, heavy radio airplay. Does it feel very surreal how much has happened in those 5 years, especially with so much going on? And
Mm.
does it also feel very validating of the hard work and sacrifice that you have put in?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to take a little bit of a step back and reflect on where I'm at and what's happened. I think you're kind of always like chasing the carrot and going to the next thing, and the next thing, the
Yeah.
next thing. And so sometimes you can miss that. I mean, even like, with streams, it's like, you know, um, a million streams, is that a lot? Well, it's like, it's all relative. Or like, a million people listening every month, is that a lot? It's like, well, I don't know. It's like, it doesn't seem like a lot if you want 4 million people to listen to you every month, and it all feels kind of arbitrary. And I'm basing it off of, um, a couple years ago, if there was a band that I felt like, or artist was like, well, they're really big and they had 4 million or something. I was like, I got to get to 4 million. But it is, so it's like that's how arbitrary it is. And
Yeah.
it's good to try to actually be like, wait a minute, 1 million people every month. That's sick. And I think, my goal was always to make something of myself in music, to make it quote unquote. And I mean, I certainly have goals left to accomplish, and I'm excited about the future and the trajectory of the band has just been like this kind of, and then we did the rebrand, and we really did start from scratch again in terms of like touring and everything, and then it's fucking right back up. So that's been a really exciting ride to be part of. But yeah, I have these moments of being like feeling like kind of I did sort of make it a little bit in terms of what was important to me. Like we have people that really enjoy the music, that use the music, that listen to the music. I would say like music is a utility. Like it's like things that people, and especially it's so competitive compared to other art,
Hmm.
because from a price perspective, maybe not from live, but in terms of listening, certainly streaming, even if we were still on CDs, it's like our record's the same price as the Bring Me record and the Coldplay record and the Ed Sheeran record. And so it's like for anybody to choose like, oh, I want to listen to something and to put on our band is like it really means a lot.
Hmm.
Um so we have that, we play shows like kind of all over the world at this point. Um yeah, life is good. It's weird, but it doesn't happen overnight, and it's a gradual thing. And you
Hmm.
kind of stand back, and it's like, wait a minute, like I live in LA, like I do this full time. It's like all.
Hmm.
So yeah, I try to take moments to really appreciate that, and then also be like, yeah, but I really gotta like I can't stop pushing, and I gotta like
Yeah.
that, like as bad as I wanted it when I was working at Trader Joe's pushing on shopping carts and I had nothing. It's like I still need to like I want to at least get nominated for a Grammy. I need a platinum record. I need blah blah blah. Like I want to headline these things. So we'll get there, but it's weird. I feel like sometimes it feels like uh and it's like the inverse is true, but it almost feels like when I had nothing, when I was like here in my journey, it felt like anything was possible. It was so
Mm.
The world was so open, and it was like there's a big chance nothing could have happened, but it felt like, man, maybe anything could happen. And then now that I'm locked into the track, I'm like, I find myself almost being like, well, I could do like it's a little more reasonable. And I sometimes
Yeah.
want to be like, fuck that, bro. Like you should go like kick the door down, and like
Yeah.
let's really see, let's like double this, let's triple this. So
Yeah. That's amazing. Like you still have that fire burning so much,
I'm well, and it's like I'm trying to, because I was when I like I said when I was young, it was like it's scary thinking like, man, maybe nothing's ever gonna happen. Maybe I'm never even gonna play a 100 cap show, or I'm never gonna do a tour. I'm never gonna whatever. Um, and you do get comfortable, and I like being comfortable, but I don't want to be complacent. So I
Hmm.
try to I try to I just think I owe it to myself, my younger self, and also I do have this belief that like everybody needs to be like all they can be. Like if
Hmm.
there's a thing that you can't, like for example, if you're somebody who is writing for other artists, but you could be artist yourself, like I think you owe it to yourself and the universe to do that. Or like if you're a singer, but you could produce beats for other people, or you could start your own label, or you could whatever, like you owe it to yourself to do that. Like you need to kind of push for whatever your ability is. And I feel like I know what I'm capable of, and I like I've been doing a lot of other projects outside of the band and everything, and just like
Hmm.
trying to stay really busy because I know what I'm capable of. And I feel like anything short of that is just sort of like a waste of my energy and
Hmm.
talent or whatever. So
For sure.
Yeah. I love that. I was just absorbing because I was like, that's how I feel with the brand. When you were talking about, oh, I was pushing carts at Trader Joe's, I was like thinking like it's so true when you first start something, you're like, oh, your goals, you have all this
Yeah.
stuff. And that's even me this year. Like we've gotten to a point where we've reached some goals that I look back that like 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, wow, that seems so far away and we're here
Mm-hmm.
now. And I'm like, okay, I mean it's cool, but like I want it, I want the fucking corn collab now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I just
I
want
do.
that big, like, let's go, let's do it. I'm happy for anything and I will work with any artist because
Mm-hmm.
my second love to fashion is music, but like I get that. I'm like, okay, this is cool. But whatever, on to the next thing. I think that's also
100%.
just it's an awesome thing, but it's also like the thing that many artists have and entrepreneurs where, which I think is good because it fuels you to move forward. You're never satisfied. And if
Yeah.
you are, then like maybe it's time for you to just do something else, you
Yeah.
know?
And I think it's like, I think that's why trajectory, I think that's why like momentum and velocity kind of is so important and maybe the most important thing. Because there are people that have the type of career where it just goes like this and then like immediately like that. And it's like, well, you
Yeah.
achieved the thing. Like, what are you sad about? It's like, well, yeah, but then it's gone. You know what I mean? Like that's nobody wants that. Everybody wants this nice, long, perpetual growth, which is like kind of impossible. It would probably look
Yeah.
like this and whatever. But in general, like you want to feel this thing. It's a like everything is about how it feels. Like I remember like you said, like, you know, yeah, I did the voice and like on paper, it's like, okay, I, you know, got signed to Republic Records and all this stuff and all this big shit. But it was like they didn't want to know anything about me really as like an artist or a songwriter or whatever. And like I consider my writing like that's like what's closest to me. That's always what I'm most
Mhm.
proud of, you know? And
Mhm.
so it really matters how things feel. And so if you feel the trajectory, it's like this exciting ride, even if you're down here and you're like, yeah, but it's going this way. Like I think that counts for everything, man. And that's what's been so great about my journey with the band. The voice was like it was a fucking rocket and it was incredible. And then it was kind of like slow parachute, you know, like okay, I'm not on TV 3 times a month or 3 times a week to millions of people anymore, blah blah blah. And it's like it's cool to build something, and it really has just been building, 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 and um, you want to feel that, you know. So I think that's important. I think that's what keeps people going more than the actual goals or the milestones, but like just feeling like okay, this feels good and it's exciting and it's moving. Also really important to set specific goals because otherwise people don't even know whether they quote unquote made it or whatever. Like my first goal, I don't know if you guys know, is like I wanted to get signed to a record label and I was gonna get like a check in my little box. That was my first tattoo. And
Wow.
and so I did that and then my big making it goal has always been to sell 1 million records. So I want a platinum plaque. And our song Talk to a Friend is like probably to gold. It's like very close,
Yeah.
if not
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool, right? Because it's like, okay, we're halfway there. So it makes it feel like some of these things feel pretty achievable, you know. So very exciting stuff. So, but it's like you gotta keep it going, you
Gotta
know.
keep going. Gotta
Yeah.
keep
Hell yeah.
going.
Yep.
Kind of piggybacking off of that as like a goal, obviously you had a recent collaboration with Dayseeker,
Mm-hmm.
um, on Medicate Me, is there, you haven't done too many guest features. Are there any
Oh.
vocalists or bands or artists, either within rock or outside rock, that would be like a dream collaboration for you?
Um. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that I'd like to work with, and I think that was an eye-opening experience for myself and maybe for the band. I don't know, but definitely for me. I mean, usually we're talking about vocalists when we talk about features, right? So it's more like
Yeah.
um definitely. And it's what's tough for me is it's like it was good with Medicate Me because we really did have that open verse and I wasn't sure what to do with the outro. And so Rory had his verse, it's great. And then we did the outro together and that made so much sense. It's cool. And it's like, but a lot of times I'll write the whole thing and then I'll be like, well, it's like I don't want to just give it to somebody to
Mhm.
sing. That's
Yeah.
weird. And then it's like, I kind of really like this second verse and I don't want to know, you know what I mean? So it was cool that it actually happened organically. And it was, I was like, I don't know what to do with this one, you know, how to wrap it up. And so it was really great. But yeah, I mean, I would love to do more. I mean, in terms of dream collabs, like, I don't know, like I think Haley Williams is probably still my favorite singer.
Oh,
Mhm.
that would be
Something like
cool.
that would be sick.
Yes.
I love Ollie a lot. He's one of my favorites. I don't know, man. I think I'd probably be down to work with a lot of people, honestly. I think it's just cool to it's just like all for the glory of the album at that point. You know, if you just get as many people as you can on the same thing, it feels exciting. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll never do a feature again. We probably will.
Hey.
But um yeah, I would be down. I'm like I'm into trying to define like I think the whole like the idea of the like the baddie core shit is cool to me
Mhm.
because I think we were so anti-genre for so long and I get it. And I think it's cool that everybody kind of listens to everything, but you still wind up trying to describe what something sounds like just by using other bands and shit anyways. And I think there was something from an artist perspective lost in that because like when you had punk or grunge or you know, even rock or whatever, it's like there was a certain group that you got put into that could be beneficial just to be like, oh yeah, like they're like there's this band like The Clash that's kind of like this other thing, or there's this band like Pearl Jam that's kind of like, even though to me I'm like, I don't know, is Pearl Jam doesn't really sound that much like Nirvana, but it's like
Mhm.
they benefited from being put in that same kind of this is the cool new thing, you know? So I like the idea of maybe doing features that could kind of all live in that same like whatever the cool new wave is and just try to help build that whatever scene or that identity up, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm gonna low
Or a
key
King
man.
Gizzard collab, yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
I'm manifesting a Cardi B collab. I'm just
Oh my
saying.
goodness, yeah.
I couldn't even, that would be holy hell.
Yeah, that would be thick as fuck, dude.
You
Yeah.
know, last question for you, and thank you so much again for your time.
Yeah,
What's kind
thanks for
of
having me.
next for the remainder of 2025 and 2026? Is there anything you want to shout out before we sign off? Obviously, we did get a little bit, you are working on new material.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, so we've got new single July 10th. Officially summer school starts July 11th. Within that, we'll be doing the Long Beach Warp Tour. Super excited. And then after tour, August, September will be kind of writing mode fully for the new album. I'm planning on, like we said, deluxe for Things Are Different Now in September for the 1 year of that. And then no, another new single, hopefully in October for another headline tour. And then end of year, maybe a little more writing. January headline UK Europe tour.
Mm.
February full album mode, potentially Australia, always trying to do Japan, maybe not gonna happen. But yeah, that's it.
That's a
Awesome,
lot.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
excited.
and I always just throw this stuff out there, and I don't know if it met, but fucking, I don't know. I think it's fine until somebody tells you you're not allowed to say that stuff. And I'll be like, oh shit. Better than was it Tom Holland like spoiling stuff for Spider-Man or whatever? I feel like nothing I
Yeah.
say is as bad as that. It's not like we got like Marvel money being like, you ruin everything.
No, no, no.
Robert Downey Jr.'s not gonna be able to buy his helicopter now, you idiot. What the
Oh,
But
my
yeah,
goodness, I love
I
that.
think that's the rest of the thing. And yeah, I am excited that we're kicking around the album again. Again, if I can outwork them, I will. So I'm trying to do it.
Let's
And
go,
then
man.
I'm all just a shameless self promo. I am launching a side project I have with my buddy Thrasher that we've been working on for years. That's
Cool.
how I got linked with the guys initially, because it was a Escape the Fate and Slaves tour, and he
That's
was going
right.
on tour. And so we've been working on this project since like 2018, and he was like, "Oh, like hit up my buddy Matt to sing potentially." So that's coming out. That'll be cool. We are trying to do like a song a month with that because we're starting from nothing, and just I'm just curious to see how that does. And then I'm also putting out like a little solo EP as well. I haven't done solo music in forever, so I'm really excited about that. So I'm trying to have all three going at the same time. Obviously, like Rain City's been, my baby, and it will continue to be, right up there front and center in my life. But I'm trying to fulfill all those obligations, and then the minute that like everybody's taking a little break, okay, and I'm gonna go do this other thing. So again, that's what I'm all about right now, is just trying to live up to that potential. So
Love it.
That's, I mean, so prolific. Again, King Gizzard, man, 27 albums. It
that
looks like
that
you're
exactly.
headed towards that right
All
now,
right,
man.
man.
Let's
Hell yeah, bro.
go. Let's
Cool, dude.
go. Well, Matt, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and just
Yeah.
just congrats on everything, and just hope you have a great rest of the day,
Hey,
and
man.
have a great time at Warp Tour and the summer school and everything.
Yeah, thank you guys both. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. Well, we will talk later.
All right, man. Thanks,
See
guys.
ya.
Have a good one.